Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Spring scrimmage #1 is in the books last night inside an Neyland Stadium, and it's always an interesting conversation when you're talking good on good. Last year, we heard on the regular that the defense was dominating the scrimmages, and what do you take away from that? Does that mean your defense is really good, or does that mean your offense is going to struggle? And we kind of saw that play out throughout the course of the season. But coming out of scrimmage #1, there seems to be a lot of talk, a lot of chatter, a lot of buzz around this offense. Again, last year it was all about the defense, and that's kind of the norm when you're talking about scrimmage #1 in spring camp. But Josh Heupel doesn't dumb things down. It's all wide open. Tim Banks can do whatever he wants. He can blitz. He can get creative. He can cause confusion. It's a closed scrimmage, right? It's not open to the public. It's not open to the media. It's not going to be the same thing that we see on April the 12th at the orange and white game. That is going to be very dumbed down. That is going to be very vanilla. But these closed scrimmages, it's wide open. But coming out of that, all the buzz is around this offense. It's around Nico. It's around the young wide receivers. There's talk about big plays down the field, explosive plays. There's supposed to be a question mark. These wide receivers are supposed to be a question mark, but it's the first group. The wide receiver room is the first group that these experts, the insiders, the guys that have that inside track are talking about. I didn't know how to attack this, right? It's a closed scrimmage. The media is not there. You're going on insider information. So I think we're just going to go through the big question marks for this football team going into 2025. We're going to talk about the news coming out of this scrimmage. But first, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me. Smash the thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed, dialed in, click that bell for notification. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We're live tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to play EA Sports College Football, but we're going to talk all things Tennessee football, and then we're going to get more in-depth with the scrimmage notes tomorrow night, live Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, so make sure you tune in for that. But also, real quick, go check out our merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. The link's in the description below. We've got brand new Nike-themed merchandise, dry fit T-shirts, the Club Fleece pullover hoodie, Talkin VAWLS logo on the front, Nike swoosh on the side. We've also got brand new golf polos and quarter zips. Again, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can check out all the different designs and logos we've got out there. But just wanted to promote those real quick. Let's get into it. Let's talk about spring camp. And again, we'll talk about like the questions, right? What are the questions around this team? And Coach Jay said it months ago. He said it months ago. What is the theme for this team in 2025? And he said growth. And when you talk about growth, where else do you need to look other than our quarterback, Nico Iamaleava? And I've talked about this a lot on live streams about how if you took away the $8 million contract, if you took away the 5-star rating, if you took away #1 player in the country according to On3 industry rankings, if you flushed all that and you just looked at a red shirt freshman quarterback that led us to a 10-2 record, he beat Alabama, he beat Florida, college football playoff, we would be pretty dang happy with that red shirt freshman quarterback. But too many eyes are on the money with Nico. But a big part of this 2025 football team is growth from Nico. Can he take a step forward? And it sounds like Nico Iamaleava really impressed during the spring scrimmage last night. Josh Heupel's quote to the media, command and control, complete understanding. Some of that's with checks. It's controlling your protections, understanding routes, and then in the scope of that, being able to put him in different positions because you've got that trust in him. But this is a time for growth. There's that word again, growth for him and everybody that we have on our roster. How much can Nico grow from year 1 as a starter to year 2? I've said it over and over. His career is not going to be defined on what he did as a redshirt freshman, although he broke records. He was impressive. Coach Jay throwing stats at you guys the other night about QBR. Nico did pretty dang good as a redshirt freshman, but can he grow from year 1 as a starter to year 2? Brent Hubbs put out that he's in control is how everyone described his night, in full command of things. Not perfect, but certainly in charge, which has been the task he has been challenged with by this coaching staff. Again, I look for Nico to take a big jump in year 2, and we'll see, right? We'll see. We'll let the chips fall where they may, but I'm excited to see what he can do with this offense in year 2. Let's move on to the young wide receivers because, again, that's something we were all questioning. You had the mass exodus, all the guys that hit the portal, Brew McCoy out of eligibility, Chaz Nimrod out of eligibility. You're looking at a room full of young, talented, athletic wide receivers, but are they ready for the big stage? Athleticism. That's the buzzword coming out of the scrimmage is athleticism. Braylon Staley, Mike Matthews, Chris Brazzell, and even true freshmen Travis Smith and Radarius Jackson getting a lot of hype coming out of this scrimmage. Again, talking about the big explosive plays. Travis Smith had a touchdown on a fade route from Jake Merklinger, who Jake is also getting some praise coming out of this scrimmage, number one. And we kind of talked about this Sunday night. Do you think that opens it up for Nico? Do you think we or this coaching staff will have the confidence to run Nico a little bit more? Because I think if Nico uses his legs, I think this offense has an opportunity to be better. And maybe some of that was, hey, well, we're looking at gas pipe back here as the backup last year. Jake Merklinger's not ready, but now another year in the offense. I know they talked about Jake Merklinger changed his grip on the football. He's slinging the rock. He looked good. He looked impressive. So knowing that you've got that behind Nico, do you have more confidence to run and use Nico's legs? Because I think that opens up this offense. But again, the young wide receivers, athleticism, explosive plays, Braylon, Mike, Chris Brazzell, Travis Smith, Radarius Jackson, and that's not even talking about Boo Carter, who also saw snaps on offense last night. But again, a lot of praise for this wide receiver group coming out of the first scrimmage of spring camp. Offensive line, another big question mark, right? Lance Hurd, the only returning starter on this offensive line, but I've kind of maintained this position with the wide receivers, with the offensive line. Just because they're new faces, just because they're different faces, doesn't mean they can't be better than the guys that started in front of them. That's what building a roster, that's what depth looks like, is you lose 4 of your 5 offensive linemen. Guess what? Plug and play. Let's throw some other bodies in there and let's go play football. According to Heupel, still doesn't have his starting 5 yet. Said he's playing guys in different positions, kind of seeing what they're capable of. Again, he talked about growth. He talked about competition. 2 words that Heupel keeps throwing around, and I like the competition. I like that. We talked about this earlier about Cooper Mays at center. Love Coop. Coop was the leader of this offensive line, maybe even the leader of this offense last year. But Coop was comfortable. Coop knew he was the starter. Coop was on a snap count in spring camp, in fall camp. Man, William Satterwhite's hungry. He's got that eye of the tiger. He's got to fight for his position. He's competing against Nick Moore. He's competing against Max Anderson. We talk about William Satterwhite. Coach Heupel was asked specifically about the center position. Said tonight, I thought that the guys did a really good job. There weren't a bunch of issues as far as communication, and that's key for me. Communication is key for me when you got a young guy taking over for Coop, who, again, had been the center ever since Josh Heupel arrived in Knoxville. So this is the first time we've got a new starting center under Josh Heupel. How is the communication there? And Josh Heupel confirms there wasn't a bunch of issues when it comes to communication. Said we worked silent count tonight, had crowd noise. I thought they handled it all in all really well. There's a lot of young guys that are extremely talented. We just got to continue to grow within the scope of what we're doing. Thought they performed well tonight. They've done that the first 5-6 days, but we still have a lot of growth left. Again, that's the buzzword, growth. I think the starting 5 are going to end up being Hurd, Wendell Moore Jr., Satterwhite, Pendleton, Sanders. I think that's going to be your starting 5. I love an article that's out there about Lance Hurd. Saw it over at GoVols 247, and talking about Lance Hurd not being 100% last year. He said the critics and the naysayers and the people that doubt him and the people that hate on him, that motivates him to be better. Talked about probably playing around 75% healthy because he didn't want to sit out. He didn't want to let his team down. He wanted to play, and I love this quote. He said, "Nobody really knows me, and I haven't really proven myself yet, and that's what this season is all about." I love that he owns it. He says, "I've not proven myself yet. You guys haven't seen what Lance Hurd is all about. He is healthy. He is in shape, and I think he takes a huge step in 2025. Growth." There it is again, growth. Another question mark, running backs. Who's going to take over for Dylan Sampson, who had maybe the best career, best year ever at Tennessee for a running back, broke all kinds of records. Who's going to replace him? Not a lot of chatter about the running backs coming out of this first scrimmage. Heupel did praise both Deshaun Bishop and Peyton Lewis, but then kind of lumped all the young guys together. Brent Hubbs did mention Dwan Morris, said he's not ready yet, still needs to learn the offense, needs to get a grasp on pass protection, which that's always going to be in the conversation when you're talking about freshman running backs, but did talk about Morris having that quickness and speed and how it just jumps off the page at you. So those were the 3 question marks. What about this defense? Kind of quiet. I expect this defense to be just as good as it was last year. The question is, can the offense come along? Can the offense be what a Josh Heupel offense is supposed to be? And I don't think last year this offense was necessarily as bad as a lot of people think. If you go look at the numbers, if you go look at the statistics, but it can be better. And I think if we can match that defense from last year. And we don't have to have the number one offense in the country. We don't have to have that 2022 offense, but we just got to be a little bit better than we were a year ago. And I think this team, man, I am a glass half full guy. I'm an optimistic guy. You guys know that. I think this 2025 team can take a step and maybe make a run into the college football playoff. What are your thoughts? We're going to break it all down more in depth tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. The boys will be back in the house for Talkin VAWLS Live. We can talk about it tonight, 6:30, EA Sports College Football. You can come on, play me head-to-head, buy players on the Dynasty, or we can just hang out in the chat and talk about Tennessee football. But jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Again, go check out the merchandise. That link's in the description. Also, if you want to support the channel, think about hitting that join button down below. It's just $1 a month. You get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. We're going to be doing a members-only stream coming up soon. That's where only the members of the channel get access to that stream. So think about joining. Again, just $1 a month. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.